Let's talk about artificial intelligence. So is Bill Gates versus Elon Musk in the race towards the singularity? Here's a word we haven't heard of in a while. Last month, we told you about Bill Gates and his happy-go-lucky warning that AI could be dangerous, but he said we should do it anyway because of poor people. Like it'll help poor people. He said it may not reach poor people, but we should do it anyway, probably because it'll be good for rich people. Okay. That's Bill Gates. Elon Musk does not feel that way. He thinks that AI is a threat to our actual existence. He said so this week to Tucker Carlson in a big sit-down interview, which is unbelievable to watch. A lot of really big takeaways. We have a few of them here I wanted to kind of catalog and go through. So here's what he had to say about AI as a threat to our existence. Watch.
Difficult to predict what will happen in that circumstance. It's called the singularity. It's a singularity like a black hole, because you don't know what happens after that. It's hard to predict. So I think we should be cautious with AI, and I think there should be some government oversight because it's a danger to the public.
So the singularity, like what happens when it becomes fully, it takes over and there's no going back. There's no putting that genie back in the bottle. And the singularity that he refers to is a point in the future when you cannot control it. It cannot be controlled by humans anymore. I mean, think Terminator, right? It's funny. It all seems like it's just feels like it's just science fiction, but no, it's happening. It's here. And it starts to dictate what we humans can do instead of what humans dictate we do with our lives, what technology tells us to do. Bill Gates warned us about this in a letter about AI, but then sort of brushed it off like it's, don't worry about it. So Bill Gates also had this awareness, but of course he makes a ton of money off of it. See, there's the difference. So here's what he said about this on ChatGPT. He said, could a machine decide that humans are a threat? Conclude that its interests are different from ours, or simply stop caring about us? Possibly, but this problem is no more urgent today than it was before AI developments of the past few months. Okay. That's always been a concern. Musk points out that the rate of development is exactly why it's more of a concern now than it was all along. Because it feels like to me, maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like in the past 6 months, suddenly we went from no one talking about AI to everyone talking about it. Everyone. Also, like all I hear now. Musk thinks that there is a government regulation needed, even though he thinks regulation is a drudgery. Think about that. He's one of the most regulated entrepreneurs in the world. He deals with government telling him how to make cars, launch rockets, drill holes, now communicate through Twitter, all of that. And even he still thinks it's worth it because of the dangers of artificial intelligence, which he explains like this. Listen.
Really, AI is perhaps more dangerous than, say, mismanaged aircraft design or production maintenance or bad car production, in the sense that it has the potential, however small one may regard that probability, but it is non-trivial. It has the potential of civilizational destruction. There's movies like Terminator, but it wouldn't quite happen like Terminator because the intelligence would be in the data centers.
Right.
The robot's just the end effector. But I think perhaps what you may be alluding to here is that regulations are really only put into effect after something terrible has happened.
That's correct.
If that's the case for AI, and we only put in regulations after something terrible has happened, it may be too late to actually put the regulations in place. The AI may be in control at that point.
I mean, I hope people are paying attention. That just gave me chills.
Thanks, Skynet.
Yeah. It is Skynet, right? Think of any other movies that have warned us about this, right? The Matrix. Can you guys think of any other ones like Blade Runner? What other AI movies out there? You guys name it. Tell me in the chat. Like, are there any, think about that?
Yeah,
where
nothing's coming to mind.
everything takes over. Everything.
I know they exist.
Yeah.
iRobot.
iRobot. Yeah, I don't know if was that. I forget.
No, that wasn't AI taking over. That was just robots existed.
And becoming sentient.
Yeah, but they didn't run things. They didn't take over.
But
I guess there was kind of the central computer did sort of take over. So yeah, I guess that can still apply.
And Tron.
I'll allow it.
Tron. Yeah. Yeah. 2001 was 2000. What was
Grimm said Ex Machina.
Ex Machina? Yeah.
Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
great movie.
Well, and also in this interview, I found this part stunning. He said that Google founder Larry Page actually wanted Google to do this, meaning that Google may actually have been designed to be moving us in this direction in the first place. That was the purpose of Google. Their tagline back in the day was "Do no evil," and yet listen to Elon.
Larry Page and I used to be close friends, and I would stay at his house in Palo Alto, and I would talk to him late into the night about AI safety. And at least my perception was that Larry was not taking AI safety seriously enough.
What did he say about it?
He really seemed to be wanted sort of digital superintelligence, basically digital God, if you will, as soon as possible.
He wanted that?
Yes. He's made many public statements over the years that the whole goal of Google is what's called AGI, artificial general intelligence or artificial superintelligence. And I agree with him that there's great potential for good, but there's also potential for bad. And so if you've got some radical new technology, you want to try to take the set of actions that maximize the probability that it will do good and minimize the probability it will do bad things.
In fact, Google is right now actually struggling to keep up with ChatGPT. The open source, I think, is it open source?
Well, it's pretty much Microsoft's now. It's pretty much Microsoft's now.
Yeah. Because now it's built into Bing and everything else. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and that was, so Microsoft got beaten by the internet, right? Microsoft Bill Gates admits basically his biggest failure is ignoring the internet, right? Like, it's pretty, wasn't that, was it that and the smartphone? Like Windows and the smartphone and the internet, the idea that we would need the internet as a way to connect all of us. Anyway, two big failures. But now it seems like maybe Microsoft has made a huge move that's now upending Google, because now Samsung admitting that they're moving away from Google search and towards Bing search, because Bing now has ChatGPT built into it. A huge blow, tens of billions of dollars in profit for Google out the window. Samsung moves their smartphones to default Bing search engine. So Google is struggling now to keep up with ChatGPT, and they launched its own competitor called Bard. Watch. So Bard can suggest more high-protein options to add to your vegan diet. It can explain why lightning might strike the same place twice. Bard can outline your blog post about summer mocktail recipes. So this is what Bard is doing. But already there seems to be word that we should look out for how people who want to be cautious about this. Larry Page used it when Musk expressed some concern about the singularity. Here is this. Listen.
And then at one point, I said, well, what about, we're going to make sure humanity's okay here. And then he called me a speciesist.
Did he use that term?
Yes. And there were witnesses. I wasn't the only one there when he called me a speciesist. And so I was like, okay, that's it. Yes, I'm a speciesist. Okay. You got me. What are you? Yeah, I'm fully a speciesist. Busted.
So, I mean, what is this, like the Planet of the Apes? Like, you don't want humans to survive? I mean, So if you want humans to continue to thrive and be in control of their own destiny, then you're a speciesist. You prioritize your own species, right? Like, is that okay? I do prioritize my own species. You know, I try not to kill, like when I see bees that land, very kind to bees and animals and insects. I don't step on them. And, you know, when the girls and yeah, Daddy, there's a spider in the bathroom or whatever. I come and I gently move the spider out of there. We don't need to, be killing things. This is an anti-war show after all. I couldn't at the same time then also be killing all sorts of indiscriminate things. So, but yeah, I do prioritize humans. I'm going to put that at the top of the list there. Transhumanism, my friends, though, that's different. Transhumanism, they do not prioritize that. We are not supposed to value humanity any longer because it's elitist. And we've got a story coming up in just a few minutes where we're going to show you the sort of, we don't want you to even have babies anymore. We're going to output that to an artificial intelligence lab. Well, we'll just have the babies inside the womb. We'll just take the wombs over here, and all of this will be, we don't need humans to do this anymore. What are you, a speciesist? Speciest? Look out for this word that encourages us to give up our natural tendency to protect ourselves and our children. That is humanist. Humanist. So unbelievable. What do you guys think about this? Other people saying, so Natali chimed in. She said, Set My Heart to 5, which is one of the best books that she and I read over the past 5 years. Set My Heart to 5 was such a great book. So funny. Laugh out loud funny about these robots. Thank you so much for watching this segment here at Redacted. We are live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, trying to share the stories that the mainstream media will not cover. You should also come over and join our community of Redacted Rebels over at redacted.inc. That's our private locals community where we can share exclusive content that we simply cannot share here on YouTube. Come over and join the rebellion together right now by going to redacted.inc. We'll see you next time.